Yeah. So what I did prior, like the actual thing that I did prior to doing content full time was I was an end user support analyst, which in the tech world, a lot of people frown upon like the help desk, like type job for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I remember when I was getting my degree, like we had to take one. Well, we didn't. No, I actually think it might have been required. It was like a help desk style course. Just kind of went over some just general things that you might have to do if you did do help desk, because it's just like such a foot in the door at a like a company, period. You know what I mean? Like so many people start their journeys in IT through some form of support position. And so I remember when we took that class, like so many people scoffed at that class, and like so many, it was a very, my class was super mixed of, veteran IT like people where they had been in like IT positions for a really long time, and their jobs were skewing to where if you wanted to move up, the degree was required. And like if you didn't have a degree, the years were like absurd. Like it was insane. Like a bachelor's degree would add like the equivalent of like, for some of these guys, I remember telling me like over a decade worth of work.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
Onto the requirements of the things, which I mean, we're talking about like software engineers. We're talking about like database admins. Like we're talking very, maybe database admin 3, like we're talking very high tier level jobs. But yeah, so it was a very mixed class of like people like me that was like 19, 20, 21, hadn't had like a job in IT, with like maybe some like 30s or 40s or even 50-year-olds that had been in IT for, a couple decades. But anyways, when you would talk to the guys that were like older and had been in the industry, they didn't scoff at help desk like at all. But if you talk to the guys more my age, everyone was just like, ugh, help desk. You know what I mean? And so then when I got out and I applied for several jobs, and the one that just like clicked was the help desk position. And that's the one I went to. And I remember when we all got back together, like a bunch of us that graduated, to like hang out and just talk about our jobs. Like I just kind of had a smirk on my face, and they're like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm in help desk." And they all just kind of like laughed. And I'm like, "No, actually, it's a really dope job. Like I loved it." And then I moved up from there, and I left as like what was classified as an end user support, is essentially the equivalent of like a couple tiers above. Like it was still sort of support, but it was like, so when things had already been tried on someone's computer before it ever got to me. Like I wasn't like the first like line of defense. I'm trying to think of like how to say that, but you didn't just get directly to me if you had a problem. Like the problem had to been like tried to be fixed a few times before I was there to resolve it. And then what was super dope, because I did have my background, and I didn't know really where I wanted to pivot yet from that. I was getting to do like, I got to set up like a server for like printers. So we were doing like this new like badge type concept where you could go up and scan a badge to like print off your batch of prints or whatever and stuff. So I got to like head that and set that up, and that was super dope, even though printers are terrible and the worst thing ever to have to work on.
Oh God, I hate them.
Yeah, printers are god awful, but regardless, it was still like getting the opportunity to do that. But at the same time, I was trying to do content, and I'm someone that like, I give 110% to everything I do, period. And the fact of like splitting the two, like the content was really taking off. Like I didn't quit my job until my channel had roughly close to 250,000 subs. Oh, wow. So we're talking like I was in it, bro. Like I had uploaded like daily for over a year before I actually stopped my job. On top of, I'd been uploading for 2 years at that point, very consistently, but I had started like this journey of daily a whole year and almost half before I quit. And so like, it was so much. Like it was so much.
Yeah.
Like doing that job and then doing this job. And there's like an on-call aspect as well. That we had to do. So there was nights where I wouldn't go to bed until like 2 or 3, and then I'd get a call at like 2 or 3.
Christ.
I'm like, I just got in bed. No, like, oh God. And then like I had the best shift too. It was 7 to 4. I loved it so much. But when you don't go to bed until 2 or 3, and then if you get a phone call, and you were still expected, by the way, like like it wasn't like Poor you. You got a phone call at 3:30. Like you don't have to come in till 9. You worked for an hour. No, you still need to be there. Like there's no like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I had great bosses and everything, but there was just no like sympathy to like, well, if you had to work the night before, you can come in late. Like, nope, we still need you here at 7 a.m. So, which that didn't happen too terribly much. But anyway, so yes, I did use my degree. Sorry, that was the most long-winded way of telling you that. But yes, I did use my degree with my position for sure.